Christina Braun. I am the owner of I Shine Beauty, and I'm a professional makeup artist and a licensed esthetician based out of Portland, Oregon. And today I have my lovely model, Christy. Christy is actually a 911 operator, and she was so gracious to come in. And I am going to teach you 3 makeup tips that you can do for 40 and above to lift the face. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually use a more dense concealer brush. And what I'm doing is actually pre-mixing Christy's perfect highlighting color for underneath her eyes. But it's all about the placement. So what I like to do is I'm actually placing concealer right here on the inner part of the eye. And then I'm also lifting out here towards the temples. And what this is going to do is going to kind of lift the outer edges of the eye area. And I'm just gonna, with no extra product, I'm just going to lightly fluff out the edges of that concealer, making sure to bring it up and out because this is later going to help with the rest of the makeup. And it's all gonna come together looking more lifted and pulled out. And Christy already has foundation, a little bit of bronzer, a lip color. Her eyebrows are filled in and she does have mascara already on. And I'm not really worried about this. I'm not really worried about the line here of the concealer kind of going into the bronzer because I'm going to apply blush as well here in a minute. And one thing about applying makeup is the tools that you use really do matter. So sometimes it's worth it to invest in a little bit more. Either that's with your makeup products that have a little bit more built-in skincare so they can go on smoother onto the skin, or having the right proper tools, meaning your brushes and sponges, that can really take you a long way as well. So the second part that I'm gonna do is actually pick up a little bit of blush, and I'm using cream products just because, again, they tend to go on a little bit smoother for 40 and above, so I like something that is just going to help the anti-aging process. But a tip that you wanna do is actually apply your blush from the edge of the eye, not really in the center here, not really close to the nose. You wanna stay more towards the outer edge of the eye and blend it up and out. So I'm gonna start again right on Christy's cheekbone from the edge of her eye, and I'm going to start pulling it out towards the temple. What this is gonna do is it's gonna mimic a little bit more of a lifted face, and I'm kind of going in this like C shape, and I'm just really lightly pressing it into the skin. And the nice thing about cream products is that you can really build up the product, and it's not gonna look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. And a pro tip for you, if you are having pictures done outside or you have an event to go to, 40% of color gets washed out in pictures, so sometimes having a little bit more blush than you think you need is better for pictures. And right now I'm just taking that concealer brush and just lightly blending out the edge where the concealer and the blush meet, just so there's no harsh lines. I prefer the synthetic brushes just because they disperse the product a little bit smoother. They pick up cream products really nicely and they blend more seamless into the skin. This final step is actually going to help just lift the eye. So what I'm using is a little bit of a liquid liner. So I'm using black, but you could also use black brown or brown, whatever complements your skin tone and your eye color. If you have lighter eyes and lighter hair, I would recommend maybe doing brown or a black brown, but I am choosing to go with a darker color so it's a little bit easier to see on camera. And what you want to do is I'm taking a liner brush, so it's a little bit smaller in precision, and it's really just going to enhance right where I need the placement to go for the liner. So having Christy open but look down for me, you want to follow the actual lash line. So I'm doing this in really tiny little strokes. You don't want this to necessarily be a winged liner, so don't feel like you have to really draw on a big cat wing. But what I want to do is just kind of enhance the outer edge of the eye and just give it lift. Go ahead and look at me, and then go ahead and look down again. And I'm using really light strokes because that tends to make precision a little bit easier when it comes to just giving a little bit of enhancement on the outer edge of the eye versus just going in like this. Because that, when you do that, it just causes little skips and it can be a little bit harder to get precision. I'm going to focus this liner more on the outer edge of Christy's eye instead of going all the way across. Because if you were to go all the way across the entire eye, that can actually close your eye and make you look like you have a little bit smaller of eyes. But again, we want to enhance and kind of lift the shape altogether. So I'm just focusing it more on the dramatic edge out here. So to wrap this all up, again, this was 3 easy things that you can do at home to lift the face if you're 40 and above. Again, we did a little bit of highlighting underneath the eye, focusing more on the inner corner and the outer edge to kind of like lift and highlight the face. With the blush placement, I applied it about midway through the cheek area out towards the temple to kind of, again, accentuate that lift. And that third and final step we did is just a little bit of winged liner right on the edge of the eye, just to kind of give a little bit of lift and enhancement through the eye as well. And again, I am Christina from Eyeshine Beauty, and thank you so much for spending time with me today.